Hello guys, so in my last video I talked about the parts of a battery cage, and you're probably wondering, so how do all these parts come together to form a standing cage? That's what we are learning today. Of course, you see all behind me, you see some of this mesh. Let's get right into installing or setting up a battery cage. See you. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Modupe. I am a poultry YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're seeing my video for the first time, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, returning viewer, you're the real MVP. All right, so let's get right into today's video. Installation of a batch of battery cages. So yeah, if you have not seen my previous video on the different parts, on the parts that makes up a battery cage, trust me, you should see that video because it's going to help you identify these different mesh wires that we're going to be using here. So you see here, started the installation. Of course, the fact that you see a whole battery cage standing, it starts very small. This is the first set. This is the first thing that is done. You remember the dividers that I mentioned in the previous videos? So the dividers are placed, like 5 of them or thereabouts are placed here. This thing that looks like the L shape, remember it is called top and back. So each dividers, you see, one divider has to be placed at the end, at each end. Then there are dividers at the middle. Again, I mentioned in that previous video that binding wires are actually very important. So he's using binding wires to bind each of this mesh together. So it's just us watching how this whole thing is set up. He has done this one at the front, so let's just watch the one he's doing currently. So you see, it is forming something. It is looking like it is becoming something gradually. See, it's just so beautiful watching this installation process, because you get to wonder that, oh, so this is how these things begin. This is how the process, the installation process begin. So yeah, these things are actually going to be called cells or units, and you see it's looking like a shape now. Then you'll pick the last one. Great. So it looks like 4 rooms now, 4 units, 4 cells. So that's just where the chickens, the birds are going to be kept. Of course, we have you can keep about 3 or 4 of them in each of these units. So the first thing they do is that they set up all these units. That way it makes things easy for them when they are installing the cages. So all these ones are done now. He has put the egg roller on the unit, so he's just attaching it together. That's the egg roller. So everything is coming to shape, and I just want us to watch how he fixes one unit. Yeah, he will probably do this for about, I don't know how many of them, about 40 of them thereabouts. It will set all that up now. So this is the face. Yeah, if you have not subscribed to my channel, now is the time to do so. Now he has fixed the face of the battery cage now, and he's using the binding wire. Again, the binding wires are actually very important. It is just everything that brings the whole battery cage together. So this is the face. You see, it's actually looking like it's looking like it's gradually. So on this face, they're going to attach the doors. Remember, the doors on the face of the battery cage. So you see the egg roller down, and yeah, he's almost done with this particular unit now. Let's just see that. Then also there's something I'd also like to talk about while we're watching him installing. I want to talk about the why we are using battery cage, the reasons we use battery cage on our farm, or the reason I would encourage you to use battery cage on your farm. So yeah, like I said, it's almost done here. Just trying to fix everything to ensure that there are no lapses, because if the binding wires are not used properly, it might cause big issue for us when we start using the cages. Yeah, so he has to check that, okay, everything are held properly, all the angles are held tightly and all that. Some of the reason we use battery cage on our farm is that it provides comfort and stability for the birds. Also, it makes record keeping for individual cells more easy. Like, you know that okay, the birds in these cells are doing well, or the birds in these cells are not doing well. It also make egg collection easy with very little disturbance to the birds. All right, so let's stop on the reason. Now you see that it's done with this particular unit. And yes, each, like I need to mention that this thing you're seeing here, you need one, two, three, you need six of them to make up a battery cage. I mean, just one cage, you need six. And imagine that for us here, we are installing 13 sets of these cages. So just multiply it. So it means that he has to do each, he has to make each of that. It has to be ready. All that has to be ready before he can start fixing them on the battery cages. So I was at the other pen, and by the time I came, he had already set up the first unit of the battery cage. So one thing he's also doing here is precision. It's trying to ensure that this new battery cage they are setting up, it matches where the other battery cage is, to ensure that there's going to be enough space, because we have to set up 13 units of cage on this particular roll. So he has to check from the other roll that has been done previously to ensure that okay, it is standing well and all that. So yeah, let's just watch him do his thing and all that. So one very interesting thing is that okay, he's the only one working at the moment. His boss isn't around now, so he would use the units that he built earlier to support the stand. Then he would place this on the top, so you see the doors, you see everything. So it's just one very interesting thing. So let's just keep watching while I tell you the reason, some of the more reasons why we're using battery cages at our farm. So another thing is that when you're using battery cage, the farmer is able to count the birds, is able to do a proper count, unlike when they're on the floor, when it's deep litter. So with the battery cage, you know that okay, you have 4 birds here, 4 birds in this unit. You're able to count. It makes counting a lot easy. Another thing is that it makes it ensures that feed are not wasted. The birds cannot, the way the battery cage is constructed, you're looking at it now, the birds cannot pour off or pour away their feed. So wastage is actually reduced to the barest minimum. And also the system ensures that the birds they have very limited movement, so they're able to conserve their energy and that way, you know, once their energy is conserved, it's not like they're walking everywhere, they're walking from here to another 100 meters. So it makes their energy conserved and increase their production level. All right, so let's just keep watching him again. You see, you watched when he set up the top. So this battery cage, then you saw the middle one, and this is the last stand here. So this particular battery cage, they are in different shapes, but the one we are using at our farm is the A shape. It is a 3-tier A-shaped battery cage. And this way, it ensures that the waste of the birds gets to the floor, to the pits rather. You see the pits down there, this is our pits down here. So it ensures that the waste, that is why this A shape is there, it ensures that the waste gets to the pits and it doesn't fall on the birds with the way it is being set up. So when the birds get into these cages, their waste and their droppings gets to the pits. And of course, like I said, this thing, you have to be very, very precise about it. There shouldn't be mistakes, because once there is a mistake, you'd realize that the waste might be getting to the birds that are on the second tier and all that. So he has to keep watching, make sure that okay, these things aligns very well. So now he's going to set up, like I think this is like the third unit. Don't forget, I said we're setting up 13 sets of cages on this row, 13 sets. So you see how it drops the first one. Make sure that it aligns with the previous one, because at the end of the day, all this has to stand firmly, like it has to stand straight. When you look at when the old cage is set up and you look at it from the beginning, it has to be aligned, and so that when they are laying the pipes, everything looks all straight and all that. At this point, yeah, his boss joined him, and of course this will make the job a lot more faster. So I think at this point here, they've probably set up about 7 yeah, maybe about 6 or 7 of these sets of cages, and like I said, they're actually setting up 13 of them. I should also mention that when these guys are working, they are playing music, just trying to have a good time so they don't get bored with the jobs. Yeah, so now let's leave the cages for a bit and come back to this water pipes. You see this nipple, that's what I tried to remove there, and this cups. So as some, I know that some farms, they don't have the cups attached to their water nipples, but we have to use the cups at our own farm. That way, when the birds drink water and it drops on the cups rather than dropping on the feathers of the birds, when water keep dropping on the feathers of the birds, it makes the birds lose their feathers, makes them look older, they look kind of dirty. Yeah, so you see that all the cups and nipples have been attached to the pipes. I wasn't around when they did that. I would have showed you. And also, yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Please click on the notification bell. Please like, please comment. Let me know how your own was also set up. Yeah, at this point, everything has been set up, all the pipes, all the feeders, everything has been fixed. See how it looked beautiful. Like just see these sides. Tell me if this isn't beautiful to you. It all looks so awesome. These guys have done a very wonderful job. Yeah, on what it costs, I think currently it costs about 130,000 naira to set up one. Things are getting expensive, and yes, that's about $130 or $140 to set up one unit. I know things are changing, but let me know how much it costs to set up your own battery cage at yours. Of course, there are different types. These are like locally fabricated cages. I know they are the galvanized ones that are probably imported. Let me know the prices you get them. Somebody might find that information useful in the comment section. So this is still me walking around, still enjoying the view, and also trying to note if I see any error, so that I can call the installers back to fix it. Because at the end of the day, I have to also inspect to be sure that things are looking fine. We have to test the water, like make sure the water runs and see if there's any leak, so we can call them back to have it fixed. So that's about it for today. Thank you for watching as always, and if there's any video you'd like me to make, let me know. Thank you for sticking around. So we see you on another video. Bye.